ridiculous. It's getting closer.
This is my second time, so I'm no longer a virgin. Thank you very much to Derek and Emma for making this possible tonight. I'm really looking forward to hearing Richard talk. But before that, I will be just taking you through a little couple of minutes of your attention, if that's okay. I'll be sharing 3 revelations that I've had over the last couple of years, because it's been a strange few years, I think, for all of us. It's like there are 2 different timelines that are going on, and as my friend Wiki said, it's as if there's a sort of under the surface of the water there's a kind of a leviathan which is slowly starting to break the waves, and I think it's a long time coming. It's a story of consciousness, perhaps. And so it's I'm here to give you 3 revelations. I guess the revolution will be telepathic, as Bob Marley once said. The revelation won't be televised. But my first revelation, I'll start by, I brought a little bell here, just to get us in the mood. So, there are many stars in the sky, there are many ripples on the ocean, there are many leaves on the trees, there are many people here tonight. And there are many mouths, and there's one bowl. So you'll get used to me. I sort of speak in slightly strange, cryptic tongues sometimes. So my first revelation is that you can't wake up someone who's pretending to be asleep. And we're sort of in this weird world where we're trying to communicate with each other sometimes across what seems to be an impossible boundary brought on by generations and decades and centuries of trauma. And just sometimes you just can't quite make that connection. It's almost as if you've been invited to some crazy goodbye party, and for whatever reason you had to drive home that night, and you weren't drinking, you didn't take any drugs, or whatever, and everybody's having a wild old time, and there's dancing and revelry and everything, and it goes on to the late part of the night, and just as the night gets to about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, people start sort of wearing off and start getting a bit sleepy, and people are climbing under blankets on the floor into sleeping bags on the couch. The kids are sleeping upstairs since the early hours. But you fall asleep as well, or you're just sort of dozing off. And as you're dozing off, you smell this acrid smell, this horrible smell, and you open your eyes and you see that to your horror, there's flames licking up the curtains. And you pull yourself up and you think, oh my God, somebody left a candle on, something got knocked over, and you pull yourself up and you walk over to somebody sleeping on the couch and you shake them and say, look, we've got to get out, we've got to wake everybody up. But maybe the person on the couch is, I don't know, drunk too much or had too much, and they think they argue with you. They try and convince you that no, those flames aren't real. You're just tripping, man. You know, and you go to the next person. You go to the next person. And you sort of suddenly find yourself in this horrible situation where you just can't quite connect. They're either trying to go back to sleep to enjoy the dreams that they're having, or they're trying to convince you that the flames aren't really there. So you can't wake up someone who's pretending to be asleep. So that is the first revelation. I'm sorry, this isn't really a comedy act, so I do apologise. The second revelation, I'll do another dong, is that you can't trust eunuchs who preach chastity to prostitutes. There's all this conflation going on at the moment of posturing with certainty, which isn't actually certainty. There's almost like a kind of a toxic diversity we're sometimes being sold, which isn't really diversity, and it's robbing us of our sovereignty of perception, our hard-earned sovereignty. And there are deliberately limiting narratives which are being sold as what really should be a transcendental, beautiful, magical, all-unifying truth that we're all trying to get close to. So there's that. So yes, beware of eunuchs who preach chastity. So, for my final revelation, I will be, I won't exactly tell you what it is because you're going to see me make it. And if you listen closely, you might make one for somebody else. And it's all about being storytellers and connecting in with the storytellers inside all of us. And really, storytellers are the most powerful people in the world. And we're all storytellers. And for that reason, I'll need to just get a few props ready. In fact, I'll change my hat because I meant to tell you that although my name is Frog, I sometimes identify as a crow. And I can do a crow impression if you'd like to hear it. Those are my pronouns. I'll relieve myself of being a crow for a moment. And now I'm merging into Planet Frog, the spiral sorcerer. You need hats for these things. Hey. So sometimes I used to do this to music, and in fact I had a band once sort of play behind me, so you'll just have to imagine that. And this is a story and an idea, a gift, a present to remind us of the present, that was given to me a long time ago when I met a little fairy, and she told it to me, and I was just like, my mind just exploded. And it's really, I was probably only about 21 at the time, so I'm 50 now, and I'm still telling the same story. So it really had an amazing effect on me when I first heard it, and I've really enjoyed telling this story. So bear with me. I should really wrap this in glitter, but you'll just have to imagine the glitter. And there's a war on imagination at the moment anyway, so it's a good exercise to get our visualization going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you a very special gift, and it's a present to remind us of the present. And in order to make the gift, I need you to help me make it, I guess. And I'd like, perhaps, I appreciate it might be difficult, but somebody here within the pub to be able to, be nominated as a recipient of the gift so I can make it for them, because it would be terrible if I made it for myself. Is there anybody at any of these tables here that would like to nominate somebody?
Can we make it for Richard?
Yes.
Yes!
Yeah.
Would that be all right? Yeah. It'll be an honour.
For Richard.
Okay. Richard, yes, I am going to make you a very special gift, and in order to make it, I need you to help me construct it together. So I have a bunch of pipe cleaners here. If you'd like to choose, tell me 2 colours that you like, that you think might all go well together. They're fluffy colours. We have red and blue and black and white and green.
Red and blue.
Red and blue. That's a nice combination. That's a nice combination. Here we are. Okay. And just finally, there'll be a sparkly colour involved in this as well. We've got some greens and reds and golds and silvers. Gold, always a popular one, lovely. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to make you this very special gift, and it's important that everybody sees how it's made, because one day they might make one for somebody else. And so what I'm doing is I'm grabbing the 2 pipe cleaners like this, and I'm just starting to twist them around like that. And as I'm twisting them around, you can see that they're sort of like an umbilical cord or a spiral staircase, kind of like a DNA coil. Or maybe one of those barber shops, sort of old signs. And of course, DNA is sort of running around inside of us, and in fact, everything that's conscious seems to have DNA running around it. So I've got this lovely spiral staircase here, and I'm going to start bending it over into another spiral. And the spiral is really the first part of the gift that I'm making. And the spiral is such a powerful old symbol. You know, it's carved into ancient rocks and Ireland. It's you see it in an ocean wave. You can see it in a fern leaf. You can see it in a seashell. And you know, if you were sort of having a shower and you suddenly got a mad urge to run out of the shower in the middle of the night and look up in the sky, you'd see the galaxy. Stars swirling round and round and round. And so the spiral is really this very ancient symbol. It's a symbol of time, a symbol of life. We're cycling round this thing all the time. And it's a beautiful, beautiful shape. So if the spiral represents life, then we need other special bit here. And actually, Richard, I didn't ask you. I have a bundle of sticks here, which was once called by a name that you can't say these days. But is there a stick you'd like on the far end, a thin one?
Third on the left.
Third on the left. This one.
Would be.
Yes.
Or the third on the right.
Depending on which side you're looking.
So we have the stick. Now the stick is the thing that you hold on to. It's your perception. It's the way that you see the world. And a stick, like a branch or a trunk, if you sort of was to slice into it, you'd see these rings deeper and deeper into the same point. And so the stick is a very important thing if it's the thing that you hold on to. You want a good stick. And so you take the stick and you take the spiral. So you take your perception and you take life. And then you take this wonderful sparkly bit, this mysterious sparkly bit, And so when 3 become 2 and 2 become 1, then you know you've got a stick to hold your spiral on. And I'll just wrap the sparkly bit around here like this. And there we go, my friends. Here is a stick to hold your spiral on for Mr. Richard Vobes. And the most important thing you can do with this, Richard, is to sum up as much positive energy and hope. And, whether that means being a cognitive dissident or an apocalyptimist, somebody who enjoys the apocalypse in an optimistic way. So, yes, if you sum up all that positive energy, and should at any point the stick to hold your spiral on bring you good fortune or good luck or some warmth from up above that you can't describe, you do the most important thing, which is to make one for somebody else. And you tell them the same story about how the spiral represents life and the stick represents your perception, and this wonderful sparkly bit here represents the thing that joins them together, which is you. The wonderful uniqueness of all of us. And maybe, just maybe, if you tell them the same story, they'll make one for themselves, they'll make one for somebody else, and one day everybody in the world will have a stick to hold their spiral.
Yeah.